Before watching the video, please subscribe and hit the like button. At 88 years old, Dr. Robert Anderson remains remarkably active, taking daily morning walks and traveling with his grandchildren despite his age. After practicing medicine for over 4 decades before retiring, he's become a living example of healthy aging. Many people ask me how I maintain such vitality in my late 80s, says Dr. Anderson. The truth is, I wasn't always this way. Dr. Anderson recalls that until his early 70s, he followed all the conventional wisdom, eating regularly, taking prescribed medications, and exercising. Yet mysteriously, his body began weakening, and he fatigued easily. I was puzzled by this decline, which seemed inevitable with age, he explains. But through careful observation of my own health and the thousands of elderly patients I treated over my career, I discovered something shocking. What Dr. Anderson uncovered was that several seemingly innocent daily habits were quietly eroding his health. These weren't dramatic behaviors, but subtle routines most people consider normal. I realized that by correcting just 5 specific habits, anyone can maintain their independence and vitality well into their 80s and 90s. Dr. Anderson emphasizes, I've seen it transform countless lives, including my own. In fact, at 75, Dr. Anderson needed a cane due to knee pain. Today, 13 years later, he walks unaided for an hour daily. These changes aren't complicated, he assures. They're as simple as drinking a glass of water. The key is understanding which habits matter most and consistently applying this knowledge. Dr. Anderson's observations from treating thousands of elderly patients revealed a startling pattern. Those who maintained these 5 specific habits enjoyed dramatically better health outcomes than those who didn't. What I'm about to share isn't just medical theory, he insists. It's practical wisdom from decades watching which patients thrived and which declined. The difference often wasn't genetics or luck, but these specific daily behaviors that anyone can modify. This introduction to Dr. Anderson's approach sets the foundation for understanding the 5 critical habits that significantly impact longevity and quality of life for people in their 70s and beyond. The first destructive habit I observed among my patients is one most people don't consider harmful at all: prolonged sitting, Dr. Anderson explains. Multiple research studies have confirmed that individuals
who spend the majority of their day seated face a startling 40
higher risk of premature death compared to more active counterparts. This statistic isn't meant to frighten, but to highlight a serious health concern. When we sit for extended periods, our circulation slows dramatically. This forces the heart to work harder to pump blood throughout the body, placing unnecessary strain on this vital organ. Simultaneously, our muscles, particularly in the legs, begin to atrophy from disuse. I've witnessed countless patients develop a dangerous cycle, Dr. Anderson notes. As leg muscles weaken, walking becomes more difficult, which leads to even more sitting, further muscle deterioration, and eventually a significant fall risk. Perhaps most concerning is what happens after meals. Sitting on the couch after eating is particularly harmful, he warns. When blood sugar rises naturally after a meal, movement helps process these sugars. Without it, blood sugar regulation suffers, increasing diabetes risk substantially. The solution, however, is remarkably simple: stand up every 30-60 minutes. Even if just for a minute or two, aim for at least 30 minutes of walking daily. This can be broken into 3 10-minute sessions if needed. These small movements make an enormous difference in maintaining circulation, muscle strength, and metabolic health. Many of my older patients dismiss muscle weakness as simply part of aging, Dr. Anderson says with concern. This dangerous misconception leads to inaction when intervention is most critical. What many don't realize is that muscle deterioration dramatically accelerates with age, while muscle loss begins gradually in our 30s. By our 70s, this process speeds up threefold. Without intervention, this natural decline can quickly become debilitating. The consequences extend far beyond simply feeling weaker. Diminished muscle mass significantly impairs balance, substantially increasing fall risk. More surprisingly, muscles play a crucial role in regulating blood sugar. As they decrease, diabetes risk rises sharply. Additionally, muscle tissue supports immune function, and its loss correlates with increased vulnerability to infections, from common colds to more serious conditions like pneumonia. One of the most shocking facts I share with patients is how quickly muscles can deteriorate, Dr. Anderson emphasizes. Just 1 week of bed rest following an illness or injury can reduce leg muscle mass by up to 10. That's equivalent to a decade of gradual, age-related decline happening in just 7 days. Fortunately, preserving muscle doesn't require strenuous workouts. Dr. Anderson recommends 3 simple strategies: moving briefly every 30 minutes throughout the day, performing basic strength exercises like 10 chair sit-stands 3 times daily, and walking for at least 30 minutes each day. These aren't complicated exercises, he reassures. They're simple movements that maintain crucial muscle function. The key is consistency rather than intensity. How much water have you consumed today? Dr. Anderson often asks his patients. 1 glass, 2, or perhaps none at all. The responses frequently reveal a concerning pattern of dehydration among older adults. As we age, our bodies undergo a subtle but significant change. Our thirst sensation gradually diminishes. This natural decrease means many seniors simply don't feel thirsty, even when their bodies desperately need hydration. Water isn't just about quenching thirst, Dr. Anderson emphasizes. It's fundamental to every cellular function in our bodies. The consequences of chronic mild dehydration are far-reaching. Skin becomes noticeably drier and more wrinkled. No expensive cream can compensate for internal dehydration. More alarmingly, blood thickens, forcing the heart to work harder and increasing cardiovascular risk. The kidneys struggle to filter waste properly, potentially leading to kidney stones or even kidney failure over time. Many seniors also suffer from constipation, which often improves dramatically with proper hydration. One simple self-check is urine color, Dr. Anderson advises. It should be pale yellow or nearly clear. If it's dark amber, you're already dehydrated. The solution is straightforward, but requires intentionality. Drink 6-7 cups, approximately 1.5 liters of water daily. Rather than consuming large amounts at once, Dr. Anderson recommends establishing a rhythm: 1 cup upon waking, another before each meal, and 1 before bed. This simple habit, he concludes, could be the single most impactful change many seniors can make for their overall health. As we age, many of us gradually withdraw from social connections, Dr. Anderson observes. The effort of maintaining relationships seems increasingly burdensome. This natural tendency towards social isolation carries profound health consequences. Research conclusively shows that socially isolated seniors experience higher rates of depression, decreased energy levels, reduced appetite, and weakened immune function. Perhaps most startling is that multiple studies suggest social isolation may impact mortality more negatively than smoking or obesity. The human connection isn't a luxury, it's a biological necessity, Dr. Anderson emphasizes. His recommendations are practical: engage in at least one meaningful conversation daily. Even by phone, join community groups centered around shared interests. Establish regular social commitments like weekly coffee dates, and consider volunteering, which provides both social connection and sense of purpose. Social engagement, he concludes, is as essential to health as any medication I've ever prescribed. Have you learned anything new recently? Dr. Anderson often asks his patients. Most respond with variations of, I'm too old to learn new things, or my brain doesn't work like it used to. This mindset, Dr. Anderson argues, represents perhaps the most dangerous habit of all. Your brain, like your muscles, operates on a use it or lose it principle, he explains. When we stop challenging ourselves mentally, cognitive connections begin to deteriorate. The research is clear: continued learning throughout life significantly reduces dementia risk and maintains cognitive function. Those who engage in ongoing education, whether formal or informal, demonstrate better memory, sharper concentration, and greater overall life satisfaction. I tell my patients about a 98-year-old woman who completed her college degree, Dr. Anderson shares. She's not an anomaly, but an example of our brain's remarkable capacity at any age. His recommendations include small daily challenges, like taking new walking routes, trying unfamiliar recipes, or learning basic digital skills. These aren't complicated interventions.
They're simple ways to keep neural pathways active and engaged.
These 5 habits may seem simple, Dr. Anderson reflects, but their impact is profound. By avoiding prolonged sitting, combating muscle loss, staying hydrated, maintaining social connections, and continuing to learn, seniors can dramatically improve their health trajectory. The changes don't require radical lifestyle overhauls, but rather small, consistent adjustments. Standing up every half hour, performing brief strength exercises, drinking adequate water, engaging in daily conversations, and embracing mental challenges can transform the aging experience. In my decades of practice, Dr. Anderson concludes, I've seen these simple habits make the difference between dependency and vitality well into one's 90s. The choice is yours, and it begins today. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe and hit the like button.